Go Getters Podcast.
How you guys living today?
Doing great, doing great.
Oh, yeah?
What's up with you guys, man?
Living good, man. This podcast is about to be one of the greatest in the world. No doubt about it.
No doubt.
That's why we had to have you guys on here, because you guys are hot shit around here in the barber world.
Probably the best in Wilkes-Barre. Can you agree?
I wouldn't agree, no.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that.
The best barbershop in Wilkes-Barre?
No.
Really?
I wouldn't say that.
Come on, what you think?
I think we got a lot of guys who do their best and strive for the best, but I think we have room to grow, and there's always room to grow. So I, like Jose said, I probably agree with him. Like, we aren't the best because none of us are probably in here doing everything we can do on a daily basis. So that's not the best.
Not just can. It's all right, to be the best, you gotta beat the best, right?
Yeah.
So, we've gone to competitions and stuff and things like that, and it's like a learning experience, You come and we get there, we thought we got the best shit on, whatever we're doing, blah, 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 and then something else gets thrown at us. It's like 10 times better. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
this is crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You guys are going to competitions. You guys got one coming up in August, right?
In September.
September, the next one?
Yeah, the next one's September.
That's pretty cool. But I think you guys are right though. Like I think barbering is competitive in this area, right? Like, there's a lot of barbershops, a lot of barbers in this area, right?
Yeah,
That's how you take it. Sorry.
I'm sorry. There is a lot of barbershops. There are a lot of barbers, but, like, I really don't think there's a lot of competition. There's really just you and like, how every single day you just got to get better. It's really, like, you can look to your left and right and may get inspired by some people's other people's work, but I don't really, especially in here, like, I don't look at it as competition. I look at all of us like we're growing together, and we're all striving to the same goals and stuff like that. So I don't really look at it like competition.
You always kind of had that me versus me mentality, though. Seemed.
Yeah.
Talk on that.
How'd
you develop that? When did you develop that?
No, I just don't really like, if someone's better than me or if someone's where I want to be, I don't look at that person and show envy or anything like that, or grow hatred towards them because they are where I feel like I should be. I look at that and I get inspired by it, and I learn from those people because they are where I want to be. Like Lewis, his chair's right there. Like, he's tough. You know what I'm saying? And
super tough.
It's easy to look at someone who's like that and be like, oh, I would never get there, or show envy towards them because, But, like, I look and I learn from him a lot, and he teaches me a lot for sure. Everyone in this barbershop does.
That's pretty cool, man. No doubt. Yo, Jose, one thing I admire about your barbershop, though, is, like, I feel like a lot of times, like, when you hear about barbershops or you even see barbershops, there's a lot of, like, trouble going on in the area. And there's, like, it seems like a lot of barbers just coming in and out, and there's a lot of, like, stuff going on within barbershops. So how do you think, like, you keep the culture in this barbershop where it's like a team and everybody's kind of bouncing off of each other and growing off of each other, and even like making, like, challenging the other barbers and stuff like that? Like, how do you kind of cultivate that within this barbershop?
Well, first I want to touch off where this area, all the barbershops here in the area had a bad name for a while, for a really long time, where barbers were known as people that were selling drugs or doing illegal things. They weren't licensed. They were basically just opening up a shop without pulling permits or getting licensing, things like that. Then you would hear on the news a week later, a shooting at a barber shop, or cops came in and arrested such and such for whatever case, right? But the thing with that is a lot of those people are not in the area anymore. Pandemic happened, and that gave the opportunity for barbers to come out and actually show that they're more professional, So, okay, yeah, their prices went up, so on and so forth, but now was a time where they can come and add other services and show people different things that the barbershop has. Now, as far as anything else, that this area needed a change, needed a difference. We needed to be able to show people that barbershop isn't just come in, get a haircut, be done, be out. All barbers in here don't sell drugs. We don't do anything illegal. That we're actually licensed and doing the right things. And now, as far as creating like a family environment within the barbers, like I said, they had a bad name. So you would have barbers that would try to cut other barbers' throat. They would go in and try to take somebody else's customers, go outside and, You know, let's say if he was booked for the whole day and there was 3 other barbers in that barbershop not doing nothing, instead of telling that person that was trying to book him, oh, I have other guys available, they would just say, no, I don't have anything, and kind of like, you know, not realize, oh, the other guys have a family to feed or whatever the case is. So I wanted to create an environment where if I didn't have anybody, somebody would feel, if I was busy and they couldn't get in with me, that they would feel comfortable sitting with somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? And, you know, as a new barber walking into a shop, too, you don't want to walk into a place where all the barbers are not trying to help each other out.
Yeah.
You know, you know, they get greedy. You know, they want all the customers to themselves. They want all the monies to themselves. But I didn't want to create that environment.
Yeah.
I wanted an environment where we can all kind of say, look, sit with him. Or if you don't have nobody, okay, boom, I have a standby list. Let me call such and such, have him come by.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I wanted to do with that. Something different, you know.
Yeah.
Where everybody ate and everybody had something to do, you know.
That family aspect about it is big, man. Like, do you think in terms of your clients and stuff, like that's another like avenue of fuel to keep you going? Shit, man, that's pretty cool. What's it called? Just move that thing a little bit closer to your face. It's not picking up some of the things you're saying.
That's pretty
I don't
cool
want it to
too.
get you mixed up.
It's kind of opposite from like the traditional way about going about business. You know, like I feel like a lot of people are like cutthroat, you know, all about profit. When I feel like if you work for your passion, then you'll reap the most riches, rather than just working for money and working to, you know, just grow those margins. If you're doing something you care about, if you do something you're passionate about with people that you care about, it kind of feels less like a job and maybe more like something that you truly are invested in.
No, yeah, the day that the barbershop feels like a job, it's a job.
Yeah.
You know, so if you're feeling, I mean, I got nothing bad to say about people that wake up have a 9 to 5. But, you know, if they're not happy doing it, man, that's a pretty miserable way to live. You know what I mean? You're waking up at 9 o'clock in the morning because you have to.
Right.
Because if you don't, then your bills don't get paid. Or you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, if you wake up in the morning and you're happy every day to get to work, you know, that's like 90% of your stress. Because aside from sleep, you're spending more time at work than you actually do at home.
We talk about that a bunch on here. Like, when did you guys think you realized that lifestyle wasn't for you? Like that going to like that miserable feeling of waking up and having to work that 9 to 5, like you're touching on.
Man, I was always like that.
Yeah.
Junior high school. Teachers would tell me, oh, this, that, you know, oh, you can't do this.
Yeah.
You know, I remember this one teacher I had, I ain't gonna lie, man, this is a long time ago, right? But she was my Spanish teacher. She wasn't even Spanish. She was Russian.
Yeah.
Right? Well, she spoke Spanish. So just imagine she's teaching Spanish, right? And I'm Spanish, I speak Spanish, and she's trying to tell me how to speak. You know, the correct way to talk. And I'm trying to explain to her that nobody in the real world speaks that way.
Yeah.
She's taking a textbook and just literally reading a textbook. You know, and I mean, just little things like that. You know what I mean? Someone tell me, oh, I can't go smoke a cigarette because it's not my break time. Like, I can't use the bathroom because, oh, I went 15 minutes ago. You know what I mean? Like, that's, to me, that's crazy to me.
I agree. I feel like nobody could tell me I can't do. Like, I've always been like that. Even as a kid, like, I've always been a little rebel, always been defiant. And I feel like that's just me. And, like, when I went to work and stuff like that, I would always feel like my boss telling me what to do. I really didn't want to do it, but yet I feel entitled to have to go because I need the money. So I was like, and over time, that stress and just that unfulfilled feeling just gets tiring. And then I made a leap. I know that I always, during the pandemic, before the pandemic, I know I wanted to cut hair, and I was passionate about it and watch videos. And during the pandemic, I felt like I had a lot of time to really just develop what I like and like find out what I want to do. And so when I went back to work, I know that I had to just work for a little bit just to fund what I need to be able to start to pursue what I wanted to go pursue and not work anymore. So then it was like last summer I made that leap, and since then I planned for the worst, and I got here and I made it happen. So like I'm grateful for that. And I'm happy and blessed that I come every single day to the barbershop and cut hair and just getting to master a craft, because like this isn't a job. I really wake up and like I just come here and I cut hair. I vibe out with the guys. Like we talk all the time. Like this ain't nothing new. So it's like it's cool when you're in here and you just get the vibe out. And at the same time, you're making money, but you're blessing someone because you don't know what they leave here to. You know, they left to a birthday party or left to like they walked out with more than a haircut. They got confidence. They got something that like I gave them life back. So that means a lot to me, and I take pride in my work.
Yeah.
So it's not really a job for me.
Vaughn, what would you think, like, you would say to somebody who's still on the cusp of that fence between, you know, living that 9-to-5 life and being kind of miserable,
I think
and shooting for your dreams and actually doing what you want to do?
it, bro. Like, cause it feels scary and it's unpredictable. Cause you don't like you go from getting paid every single Friday or every 2 weeks. Sorry, you you go from getting paid every 2 weeks to then not knowing when your next paycheck will come or knowing when your next income is gonna come. And I know for a lot of people that might put fear in them because they do have bills and they do have car payments and phone payments or school debt or whatever the case may be. And so like they know that there's a deadline and they know that like that quitting that 9-to-5 will take away that security. But I feel like if you're confident in yourself and you trust in your work and what it is that you want to do and you know you do what you love, you should just pursue that and let the money take care of itself. Because when you do what you love and you do it good at your job, you're not going to give your all because you're not that's not what you want to do. But when you're doing what you love, it's easy and the money will follow. Like it's just a natural side effect of you just doing what you do.
I think that's
I'm sorry.
no. Go for it, man.
One thing that happens, like right off the bat. So let's say for example, I don't know. You guys are young though.
21, yeah.
Jeovanny's very fortunate that at his age, he found something he's passionate for because not everybody does. A lot of guys are young, and to be honest, you guys haven't really experienced shit. You know? So he says he's passionate about it now, but there may be something else later on he may be passionate about. You know. But what I'm thinking is that I mean he's very lucky that at this age he found something like that. Some people don't. You know, some people have kids, have a family, and get stuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know, there's always a time to try to find that.
Yeah.
You know, now that you guys are young and you don't have kids, this is the time to try to figure that out.
Yeah.
You know, bills are bills. There's always going to be bills.
Yeah. No doubt.
But you guys are, you know, young, don't have children, you're not married. Now's the time to go out there and look and try to figure that out. Try different things. All right, barbering looks cool. Let me try that.
Yeah.
Construction looks cool. Let me try that. You know, go out there and try it now before you have a family and before you have kids. Because I'm not saying it's too late, but you're gonna put your family through some stuff. You know what I mean?
Doubt.
You're gonna go through some stuff.
Yeah.
Through the process, it doesn't happen one day to another where all of a sudden you're making money.
Yeah.
You know, some people you walk into a situation where someone's there to help you, but not all the time. You know, you're gonna go to places where, let's say you want to try barbering. Like I said, barbers had that little thing here for a little while where they weren't kind of helping each other out or anything like that. You may get to a place where it's like that.
Mm-hmm.
You may be the one in the shop that doesn't know anything and no one's gonna help you. You're gonna have to figure everything out on your own.
Yeah.
It's not that easy, you know. But do it now. Do it while you're young, man, because you get older, the bills piled up, you start having kids, you forget about what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
You're worried about what they're passionate about. You know, and you're worried about what they got going on. You know what I mean? It ain't about you no more.
Is that something you had to work through personally?
Personally, yeah. Hell yeah. You know, when I was younger, I cut hair or things like that, but I never pursued it because I had kids young.
Yeah.
You know? I'm not knocking it. I love my kids. I don't regret a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if it was different and I started when I was younger, who knows where I'd be right now? You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
At what point do you think you decided to take this shit serious?
Serious? When I just got tired of everything. My kids were older, and I was like, okay, now it's my time. You know, my youngest right now is 13 years old.
Did you always recognize like the potential within yourself, or at some point did you have to like come to terms with like I can really do something here?
Yeah, no, man, I went through a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost a lot just to pursue this, which I'm not going to get into, but I lost a lot. You know, and that's something that I don't regret, but in a way I do because I put my family through a lot too. You know what I mean? But hey, that was the process. You know, this is what I was willing to give up. If I would have lost everything, I knew I was going to get everything.
Yeah,
That's huge.
Take sacrifice. Sometimes you have to give that queen up. Not literally.
You know, and the other thing is, I'm glad my kids saw that too. You know what I mean? They saw that what we had, what we lost, what I worked to get back. You know what I mean? So
it got to be inspiring for them, if not anything. You know what I mean?
They can see that you could lose something and get it back.
Yeah,
you know, things are material. You know, what I mean? It doesn't mean anything.
That's the real side of entrepreneurship. It's not always like I'm gonna decide to start a business and then boom, it's all of a sudden booming. Like, you go through trials and tribulations. Like, I feel like if you decide to do something major, life's gonna test you a little bit. Like, hey, do you really want this? Is this really what you want to do?
Oh wow.
Uh-oh. Giving me crickets.
Nah, that's my fault.
My thing is, let me ask you guys a question, right?
Alright.
What is an entrepreneur?
Go ahead, Big Cat.
Oh man, I mean, I guess an entrepreneur, man, to me, is like any individual out there that loves anything or is passionate about anything, and kind of like what you were saying before, is willing to make the necessary sacrifices in life, I guess, to achieve whatever you see in your future, like whatever you envision. I guess actively putting things aside and taking, say, maybe even a small step every day and achieving what you actually want. To me, that's what being an entrepreneur is.
I think entrepreneurship is like about taking on your own risks and taking on like your own challenges. You know what I mean? To accomplish something either financially or to create something for yourself. And that might be independence. That might be wealth. That might be success, status, whatever that might be. I think it's somebody who is like an autodidact, like a self-made individual, somebody who decides to walk alone, to put it deeply.
Apart from like a
Yeah,
job,
yeah.
or
Like they can create their
Restraints,
own employment. They
and-
can create their own income. They can
Yeah.
create their own stability. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
that's
that's
an entrepreneur.
they can create their own economy. That's what an entrepreneur is in my
I think everybody got a dream, man. It's about
Basically, from what
what
you
you
guys
think?
are explaining is my opinion, that's a businessman and someone that's out there hustling. Okay, not hustling selling drugs, but someone out there hustling to where they got to figure something out, figure out how they're gonna make money, right?
yeah,
An entrepreneur wakes up, and because he went through all that process, doesn't have to go through it.
yeah,
Wakes up and doesn't even have to work, doesn't have to do anything, and he's got money coming in. So once you guys figure out how it is that, or what it is that you have to do without working to get money to come into your pocket, that's entrepreneurship. That's what an entrepreneur is. That's where I got 5 businesses and I don't have to work. I got people working them. These businesses are making me X amount every month.
Yeah.
That's an entrepreneur.
What do you think about somebody who has a more artistic mindset that wants to be hands-on and do things personally?
No, that's good. That's passionate.
Yeah.
Passion. He's passionate about what he does.
Yeah,
You know, but an entrepreneur is, let's say he gets to 50 years old.
yeah,
You know, and whatever. Let's say he's an artist. He paints. He's got arthritis in his hands. What is he going to retire on? You know, what happens then?
Yeah, because that's active income.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you mean like the ability
Time
to
in
then
exchange.
take that passion and like what you were able to do with that and turn it into a way to make passive income? Like still being involved in that scene, obviously, but making money
100% right.
elsewhere.
Where you can wake up and not worry about
Yeah.
working.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Jeovanny and I talk about this a lot.
Your money keeps making money.
Yeah.
That's what an entrepreneur is,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Your money keeps making money, and you don't have to work for it. You know, that's an entrepreneur.
Like you don't have to depend on actively making or cutting hair to
make
to
money.
survive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have money coming in from other streams that you don't necessarily need to depend on actively going exchanging your hours or time for money.
And that's what I try to explain to people. Like, I think there's a big difference between all of that. You know, everyone wants to be an entrepreneur, but no one's willing to go through what it takes. You know
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no, I agree.
I think entrepreneurship also, like, I heard one person word it like it's self-development through business endeavors.
Yeah.
You know
I
what I mean?
agree.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
But like me and Jeovanny talk about this all the time, and I love this concept. And lately, I've been working on this a lot. Like, you can't be all the way creative, because if you are, then in some way you'll be naive, and you can't be all the way logical and about the numbers and analysis, because then you'll lose your soul in some way. So you have to find like that beautiful mixture of like having the creativity and also being logical, and
the structure
yeah,
needed to make that creativity a thing.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you could be creative, but if you don't know how you're gonna bring this creativity into existence,
Yeah,
then it's for nothing. But that's where you got the left side where your logic and your thinking comes into play, and then you can think about how you're gonna make that.
Yeah.
You know, or
You have
bring
to,
that.
you have
or
to meet a state of
manifest that.
flow in that like sense.
sure. I like this one quote by Martin Luther King. It goes like this: "The man who loves peace must learn to organize himself the same as the man who loves war." And I think that sums that up pretty much. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, think about it.
I like that quote a lot.
I feel like, because talking about that now, it's like, because you could be really creative, right? But if you don't know how you're going to do that or bring it in, and that's where it's like fun, because you can play chess and stuff like that, and you can see how you're going to like ahead of time, some certain problems, certain obstacles. You think you want, like, for example, let's say you just want to be somewhere from point A to point B. You don't know how you're going to get there. You just got to envision what that person walks. Like, let's say me 10 years from now. He envision how he lives, envision how he walks and how he talks and how he carries himself, and just have faith that, like, if you embody that 10 years from now, you will live that same exact way you envision it right here, right now. So I feel, but you have to have faith, and you have to really just embody those characteristics of that person, that future you, that version of you that you know you want to be.
Yeah. I think you have to fall in love with those like trials and tribulations too, because that's one thing I used to run from big in terms of like chasing my dreams and whatnot. But me and him talk about it pretty frequently, like how like exciting that makes this whole process now. Like every time we run into like a problem, like today, like we didn't know how we were gonna come here, set everything up, but like that shit really do excite me now, like more than it used to. You know what I mean? I used to run from things like that, but I think it's like at a point in life when I don't know how you cultivate that. I don't know how I did, but like I think you need to figure that out at some point. You got to have fun with like these problems. Every time you solve one thing, it opens up 10 more problems. I think you got to have love with that too. You can't just run from shit like that, because I used to always do that.
You got to see the glass half full rather than half empty, because if you look at every problem or every like it's an obstacle instead of a challenge, and room to grow, then you're always going to look at it from like a pessimistic like viewpoint. You're never going to want to do it. You're never going to want to, like, you see it as work. You see it as like, you know, but when you see it as a challenge, you see it as an obstacle, you're more motivated to like want to do good, or like, it's like, for example, right? Coach Laboch or coach anybody like tells you we're running sprints. You're going to be like, oh, but if he tells you we're splitting the team up in two and we're going to do relays, and the losing team, like, you're going to feel more entitled to like work harder because it's a challenge. It's just manipulating the way that person's thinking to like get them to work harder. But if he tells you sprints, you're going to drag ass, because of course you're looking at it like it's work. But if he makes it more fun, he makes it more of a challenge, then you're going to try harder. I feel like you have to always look at problems that may occur in that kind of way. Oh, this is just another stepping stone for me to just get better. If you don't, then you're gonna never get it done. It's just always a reason to not do it. You know what I'm saying? That's just always gonna be an excuse to not keep going. But like, if you look at that as reasons to get stronger and shit like that,
there's also no growth in running from problems either. That's one big thing I realized in life. When you actively like take a lot of these problems head on, like these problems you face in your day-to-day life, not only do you get them shits done, but it gets easier rather than just running from it.
You learn from it. Now you know next time, okay, look, this is what I got to do. Problems are always going to be there. Things are always going to come into play. Somebody's always going to be there to stop you. You know, something's always going to happen. You know what I mean? Something always happens.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Josh Mason, the owner of Fame Strength, always explained it like this. Like, entrepreneurship, I heard this from Gary Vee too, but entrepreneurship is like a firefighter. Like, once you put out one fire, the next one arises. Like, there's always something that you're constantly trying to put out and constantly trying to solve. That's why I think entrepreneurs have to get comfortable in chaos. There's a lot that comes with this shit. You know, I'm learning that.
Yeah.
No doubt.
That's kind of what I mean in the sense too of like facing these problems and like saying like not only do they get easier, but you learn probably like a way to make it not easier the next time, but like, I don't know, it just weathers you for like all the problems you face. That's kind of how I relate it to like what you're saying, being comfortable in the chaos. You just get used to problems arising, and you get used to tapping into the mindset of how to solve things and looking at it from like an outside perspective, not just with emotion and whatnot.
You know, it's a way of thinking. Something bad happens, being an entrepreneur, being a man, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Okay, something you did got you to that point where that thing that happened.
Hell yeah.
Whether you try to be kind to somebody or help somebody out,
Regardless.
In the long run, they may get up and leave.
Yeah.
You know, it's on you because you were too nice or whatever it is. It's all on you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a way of thinking. Something happens. Okay, what the hell did I did? What was it that I did that got me to that point where this happened? Now?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you got to take ownership, man.
You have to.
You got to get to the point where you're owning up to your own shit.
You got to be able to analyze things, too, and not just look at it with emotion. That's kind of what I was trying to touch on before, too. Because when you try to look at things too emotionally, your mind's jaded. It'll pull you in the wrong direction, the right direction. It don't really matter, but it's not like you don't get to tackle problems with a very clear head if you're looking at whatever situation is in front of you emotionally.
Not in chaos.
Yeah.
Especially not in chaos.
And it can consume you.
In chaos, like, you have to be calm.
Yeah.
And because there's always an opportunity and there's always a window. Let's for MMA fighters, for example, like, they're scrappling, they're in the grapple, and they're just throwing hits and throwing punches and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you're calm and you know it's chaotic and you're just waiting for the right moment to, like, for him to slip up. Because there's always room in a chaotic environment where their opportunity will show itself.
Yeah.
And you got to take advantage of that, because some people will, like you said, will be emotional and will react off, like, emotion instead of calm and calculated.
Yeah, seeing things clearly.
No doubt. Yeah, Jose, one thing I wanted to ask you, though, too, man, is you built NYO. So what do you think it takes? Because we're trying to build this, like, the Go Getters podcast, Go Getters. Like, we want to branch this off into so many different things. So what do you think, and for people listening, what do you think it takes to build a brand that, like, everybody can connect with? Because you've been doing this for some time now. And
you're not going to connect with everybody, man.
I feel like there's a real spectrum, though, of people who wear NYO shirts, come to NYO Barbershop. Like, there's people from all different walks of life that come in here and show love to NYO.
No, there is, but there's also a lot of people that don't like it. There's also a lot of people that say, you know, that, oh, what the heck are they trying to do? Who do they think they are?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I get all of that. You know what I mean? And I know you guys have probably heard this 1,000 times because you guys probably listen to tons of people, but it's true. The day that this is all you can think about, then that's the day things are going to start working out for you. You go to sleep, this is what you're thinking. You wake up, this is what you're thinking. You'll be driving, this is what you're thinking. You know, everything. You won't be able to sleep because you're dying to get up to the next day to get this going. Then it'll start working.
An obsession.
Have that obsession, that desire to create something.
Yeah, you have to have that obsession. Because if you don't, then when you get tired, that person that does have that obsession will get up.
Do y'all feel as though you're obsessed with your craft?
Of course.
And if so, when did you realize that?
I just told you. Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, if anything I was doing, regardless whether it was barbering or sports or anything I was involved in, video games, like Madden, bro, I was invested in Madden. Like, in football, like, I really, like, loved football, and, like, I invested my all in football, and, like, I just always did it to just do it. If I'm not going to do it to my best, I won't do it.
Yeah.
And so, like, and it's a craft, and this is a different craft. This is barbering. It's a different form of art, but that person is still the same. I'm still going to do my best and strive to be the best and learn new techniques, and because there's always room to grow, and no one's ever 100%. So you do have to be obsessed with improvement and obsessed with, like, growth. And that doesn't come if you're not honest with yourself.
Humble.
So,
you got to be humble.
Yeah, you have to be humble, and you have to be able to
No
take
doubt.
criticism.
No
If you
doubt.
can't take criticism, if you're like, your ego's too high, or someone's telling you, hey, you lack here, and you're like, nah, he don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
You're never going to be able to, like, see it from how they see it, or where you feel like your vulnerabilities might not peak to you, but some people might be seeing it. And if you're too proud to, like, not hear that and be truthful, then
there's no growth there.
Yeah, we all have our own illusions, right? Like, we all have our own things that we're blind to that some people could see very clearly that for some reason we just refuse to accept. I think everybody has those, though. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has those things where we can't acknowledge it. We can't give ourselves the honest truth about it, you know? I think for a lot of people that's like maybe denial or what they really want to do or who they really are, you know? I struggle with that sometimes, but to get on something more positive, though, like talking about growth and talking about like experimenting with things and the brand of NYO, is there anything you could talk about for how you guys will expand as a barbershop? Like, do you think you'll open more barbershops? You had the merch was going crazy. So
That's
what's
how
the
it
deal with the
started,
merch?
Man. To be honest with you, that's how the whole idea started.
I see you guys been on social media too. I think you just dropped like a few videos on TikTok that went crazy viral.
Yeah.
So I see you guys are doing that stuff too. That video you guys posting on Instagram Reels, bro, that shit had me cracking.
The one with the police
With the
car.
cop. He said,
Heck nah.
Jeovanny said, heck no, I got to get it cut.
You know what it is? It's about being different, man.
Yeah.
You know, I can't say nothing like that was ever been done. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Right.
Who knows? Probably. You know what I mean? But it's just like you said, being creative.
Mm.
You know, we'll go back to, all right, so check this out. I was in a place for a while where I had ideas, and I would try to get people involved. Hey, let's do something.
Mm.
And you'll hear, yeah. Oh, no, that won't work. So, you know, you kind of have to separate yourself from everybody and just kind of start yourself, you know? Yeah. I mean, I was, in my 30s, my late 30s, dude, and I started making T-shirts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was like, all right, you know what? This is where we're going to start. From T-shirts, it went to a name, a brand, to a barbershop, to a team of barbers, to a bigger shop, you know. And once it goes back to what you just said, what's my end goal? I don't have one. I'm just going to keep growing until I get tired of it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Is this going to stop here? No. You know, I'd like to do a couple more things.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into too much detail what the next step is, but you guys will see. You know what I mean?
I like that. Yeah, you can't always give the next step out.
Yeah.
Sometimes
you
I
guys
rush.
know what's what. You know what I mean? And, but you know,
We need some more merch though, man. The city needs it.
I might go back into that. It's just
The city needs it, man.
Yeah.
True.
Everyone's doing it. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody
That's
was
true.
doing it. Now everyone does it.
Yeah.
Which is great to kind of motivate people, but I think that's more my field. Okay, look. The barbershops out here, right? I'm not saying, you know, this is the best one, best looking or anything like that, but, you know, I've seen a few shops where they're, you know, doing the same thing. Same tool chests, same colors, you know, things like that, which is great, you know, because I think it's more like now everyone's trying to change. You know, they see that someone out there is doing it, they want to pick up on it, and they want to go ahead and change their look, they change their style, be more professional. So whatever my next step is going to be is going to do something like that to more people. You know, it's going to inspire them to do something else.
Cool.
And elevating your game, you then in turn elevate the game of everybody else, like you're touching on, and then that only helps you grow exponentially as well.
Yes, I agree, because for sure, like I was saying, my boy Louis, like Louis, he's tough, and like if there's a page out there or Instagram page that's tough or something like that has filled with ideas and stuff like that, I don't want to keep that to myself, because he might be able to like take that for way further than I can, and like I can just look at that and grow as inspiration. It's another form of like in my own benefit, kind of, you know. He's gaining power and gaining something that he didn't have, that if he wasn't exposed to wouldn't got there, but like because he did, and I got to learn from him from that, you know, it boosts me in the process. And like you can't be selfish with shit like that.
No, you can't. Because if you build a team of dope people like that around you, that in turn could like open so many doors for you in the future.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to help somebody like that?
It's important to find the right person.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, there could be that person that could just take what you're telling them and, you know, and not give you back, you know?
Yeah.
But it's not, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but you shouldn't do things to get things back.
Yeah.
All right, so you're doing something. Okay, look, I'm going to show you a trick. I'm going to show you a secret that, or whatever it is, right? Something that nobody really does or nobody knows about. But it's one thing to do it and expect something back, or it's one thing to do it and just to do it.
Yeah.
You know? All right, so I don't know, whatever. Let's say I'm gonna just use this as an example. Jeovanny. I've cut Jeovanny. I've known Jeovanny now for, I want to say 7 years, maybe 8 years. Okay, and I seen the potential in him.
Yeah.
You know, he left the area, and I knew he was learning how to cut hair, and he wanted to cut hair. He left the area, you know, and he was one of the people that I kind of text, you know, and sent a message to. Listen, if you ever, you know, come back. I have a place here for you, and you know we'll be willing to show you or help you out.
Yeah.
You know, and get back on the same page. Get you up to par or whatever it is that you wanted to do. You know. He shot me a message. Hey, you know, can you? I'd like to come down there, and I don't know, maybe what is it? School in Florida is mad expensive. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like school in Florida was expensive and stuff like that, and like, you know, to go to school to be a barber, it's expensive. And he hit me up saying he could help me out with my license. So when he hit me up saying that, I thought it was a cool opportunity to come out here, not only to get my license, but to learn from a group of guys that have the standard real high. And so, and also being like in the house, cutting in hair and stuff like that, you don't see what else is out there.
Yeah.
But coming here, I get to see what a finished product really looks like. It just makes me know that I have room to grow, and my haircuts could one day get to that. And like, so he helped me out with the process to coming here and stuff like that. Like he gave me the table to come eat at. I just had to, like I said, work and put money aside and focus on making this leap and taking this sacrifice, because I was planning on quitting come the summertime of my job to fully pursue this, but I had to have money put away to like be able to, and like to let this grow to now where I'm at right now, to where like this is my new source of income, and I am doing pretty good. But I didn't know that when I quit my job.
Yeah.
So my thing
I did know it. I believed in myself that I would get here. It's just you have to walk with faith.
So my thing is you know, so I did that because I liked the kid. I didn't want anything back. You know, I didn't expect anything back either. You know, and look at him. You know, I kind of threw an idea out there. You know, he's been with me now what, a year and a half.
Yeah,
working.
going on a year, and like it's beautiful what he's done for me. But we've been on cool ass competitions. We went up to Misericordia.
That was tough. Yeah, that's super cool.
We
You
went
guys
up
got
to,
that
like,
locked in.
Like, there's just a whole bunch of small things that I know, like, it comes around full circle. And, like, I'm truly grateful, like, for the opportunity, because I've really, like, growing a lot since I've gotten here.
You know, my thing is you do it without expecting anything. You know? Who knows, later on he'll probably do the same for someone else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? There's going to come a time where someone is trying to learn.
Yeah.
He'll stop what he's doing, show him, you know, without expecting anything back.
And at the same time, like, you probably known Jeovanny since he was really young. Like, it'd be cool to see him blossom like that too, in a way. Like seeing him from the time, like maybe when you first met him, to how like the potential he could hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think that's one of my favorite parts about the whole thing too. It's just watching people grow in that regard.
Bro, I remember walking into the barbershop, bro, after I just tried giving myself a haircut, and Jose would be like, bro, I should charge you double, not only for cutting your hair, but fixing it too. Like, I really used to come in there with my haircut all messed up.
Wacky.
Like,
I remember that. Remember, me and Jeovanny moved out at 17, 18 years old. We were on Blackman Street getting crazy. And Jeovanny thought it was a good idea to pull some clippers out.
Oh, God.
But it was.
That's when you started, man?
Yeah,
that's how I
Blackman
started.
Street?
Yeah, like senior year I started, and then just practiced more and more and more. I seen the, like, development, so, like, and I saw every time I did cut my hair, it got slightly better. So, like, even though people would make fun of my haircut because it was fucked up, I just saw the improvement each time. So I knew it was a matter of time before, like, a hit where, like, and I know I'm nowhere near where I want to be, or where I know I can be, because like, there's so much stuff in this game that, like, you can master. And, like, if you really, like, study and, like, just look at all the other people and what they're doing. There's a lot of people that are doing a lot of good things, and they all touch different angles, and they all paint different colors, you know? And so, like, it's a matter of what colors you take and what you make out of them.
Off topic question, but does, like, cutting your own hair, like, yourself, does that, like, help with cutting other people's hair? I would assume that would be totally different.
I feel like for me, it helped me, because I know, like, cutting my own hair is hard as hell. Hard as fuck, especially when you get, like, into the center.
Yeah.
Where you swap hands. Well, for me, I swap hands. I'm a natural lefty, but then when I cut my own hair, I have to use my right hand to do to do your right side. And that's when it gets hard. But, like, it's so much harder. I feel like cutting your own hair because everything in the mirror is backwards.
Yeah.
That it makes cutting other people's hair a lot easier.
You know, no barber, I don't care who it is, right, is going to tell you that they never cut their own hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that they didn't learn on themselves. You know what I mean? That's everybody.
Well, it's like a canvas you always got. Like, if you ever want to take the time to, like, improve your craft, you can always do it on yourself.
Yeah. Everyone does the same thing. Every barber, their friends, their kids,
Yeah.
their family members.
2 haircuts a week.
Start from.
2 haircuts a week to maximize, like,
Yeah.
you do a taper, give it a couple days, then you give yourself a whole fade. And then within that week, you got 2 haircuts at least if you couldn't cut anybody else.
Yeah.
When I started in the shop cutting different types of hairs and stuff like that, I had this guy Paul. He was the owner of the barber shop. Somebody would come in, and let's say they didn't get a haircut in 6 months. That customer would stay in that chair for about 2.5 to 3 hours. I'd give him 3 different style haircuts until I got to the haircut he wanted.
Yeah.
Just practice.
Damn.
Because you know what? All right, I'm gonna do a scissor cut, or I'm gonna do a taper. He originally wanted a skin fade, but I'm cutting it with scissors. You know, I'm doing a taper. I'm doing a comb over. You know, I'm doing all these different styles just to get practice because I didn't have mannequins. You're gonna run through a mannequin in like 5 minutes. You know what I mean? So, man, customers hated that shit, but you know, it was just practice. You know, but I would do different, you know, just to practice. Just I was like, you know what? I'm trying this. Fuck that. You know?
Yeah. I remember sitting in the old shop, and those were the days, the sharp cut days. Those are the days. I used to go in there. I remember you gave everybody a free haircut for prom. Yep. That was pretty sweet. So last year you did a community event. You plan on doing anything like that again?
I was talking about it for this year.
Around this time, right? It was
in August, I'm thinking about doing it.
Cool.
Right before school starts, because we organize with Isaac, which is like Gemini Kicks now.
Yeah.
We're going to get him too, trust.
Yeah, and we usually does book bags and school supplies, things like that. The barbershop will set up food, events, DJs, you know, just kind of get people out there to have fun and show them that the barbershop is more than just coming in and cutting hair.
Yeah.
And that we're here charging people. We like to give back in a little bit.
Yeah, that's dope. Where'd you guys do that last year? It was in Hanover.
Yeah, we did it over here in Hanover. I think it was the Breslau Field. It used to be an old fire company.
Oh,
They had
okay.
a huge property out there.
That's dope. Yeah, that would be dope if we did something like that again.
It would. And it'd be cool even if we could help
year.
out any way we could, you know what I mean?
Last year, I think it was the news stations came out. You know, they did like a quick interview. You know, we had a decent turnout, man, and I was happy with it. You know, there was this one little girl. I don't remember her name offhand, but it was like she had the time of her life. You know what I mean? She was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing." You know, just that alone made my day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And even if it's just one person, man, like, that's beautiful. To me, at least, like, that's so cool, being able to do that for people. We would love to, like, we're going to get into all those kinds of avenues for ourselves in the future, too, in ways that we can give back to the community with this, you know, our voice.
Yeah, I find it crazy how, like, if you do pursue something, like whether any type of art form, craft, barbering, podcasting, whatever it is, in some way you'll affect somebody. And I think that's really cool. Like, people have already reached, we're getting like 300 views, 400 views a video. Yeah. And people will reach out like, yo, when you said this, I really connected with that. And it really changed my perception. Right, and I think that's beautiful, man. Like, I always wanted to do something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're coming in here, you're giving somebody a haircut, you're making them feel good about themselves. You know what I mean? Like, that's a beautiful thing. It truly is.
Yeah. It's every day for you guys, too. You know what I mean? You get to do that for somebody basically every day. I don't know. That's amazing to me, man. And like he's saying, that's something I've always wanted to be a part of, too. Like, I love doing stuff like that.
And with the podcast, you guys are giving back a lot of value, because there's people out there that tune in and they're learning, you know what I'm saying, and getting new perspectives that all you guys are gathering to provide for them. So I think with this podcast, it's a beautiful thing in itself. And the fact that you guys want to do more with what you get from this podcast is also beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like, we're just, like, this is just getting the ball rolling. Like, we have so many really, like, interesting plans and ideas and, like, avenues that we're going to explore. But it's all... Go for it.
I said a lot of cool people coming up.
Yeah. And you
That's
realize...
I was just about to ask.
Trust. We got to keep that a secret, though.
You realize that around here, though, man, like, more than you would expect. Like, I remember before we even had our first episode out, like, we were, like, just spitballing some names, like, on a piece of paper, like, interesting people we could talk to. Maybe coming up, like, 5, 10 people. Like, when you look at, like, some of the people, like, we think about having on here now from... You just, like, what I'm getting at is you learn about so many interesting people from your own city you didn't even know were there prior.
Yeah.
You know what
There's
I mean?
some real people out here, man. Really, like Wilkes-Barre has some serious potential. Even like just Luzerne County, like a lot of potential here. People who are up to some serious stuff.
They just need people to like the right people that's gonna
The pioneers.
follow, you know.
We need the
I
pioneers.
think
though.
life has a funny
Or
way of
leave
like
an example,
Yes.
a positive
Yeah.
example, because there's a lot of people out here that, like you said, they have tons of potential. I remember growing up as a freshman, seeing some, or not even 8th grade, watching some of the stars like on the varsity team, and like they have so much potential, but get mixed up in the wrong crowds and stuff like that. And I feel like if they just had someone to look up to who was the positive role model for them, that it could have changed everything.
Yeah, man.
And that one person who was saved could have saved so many other people.
Yeah.
But you could be that person, man. You what? How? What did you say? How old are you?
22.
22 years old, bro. You know what I mean?
You got
Like,
to. You got to try and be that
oh,
person.
to do what he did isn't easy, you know. But I mean, that's just how I can't say. I don't know where he got it from or how he got it, but
You just got to play your cards right. I mean, there's a lot of things and situations where people are at a disadvantage, or there's always an excuse to never start. You know what I'm saying? You're never just going to be perfect out the gate.
Yeah.
But you just have to, like, and you might not know how you're going to get it all done. You know? You might not be able to see from A to B right away.
I don't think anybody
But
does, man.
Like I said, you just have to look at that person, like me from 10 years from now, what I can do in this Barber game and what he does, and like how he walks, how he dresses, how he talks, the confidence that he walks in the room with, and just visualize that, how that feels like, what that looks like, and embody that characteristic now, and just have faith that within time the dots will connect themselves to be that person, you know, that version of yourself you know you can be. Because if you can see it in your mind, then it's possible.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of how you're going to get that or become that. But
Yeah, no
I
doubt.
feel like for me, the best way to manifest that is just to visualize what that looks like, feels like, smells like, and just embody it now.
Yeah. No,
to see it with clarity, like to have that mental clarity, like this is it, this is where I want to go, this is what I want to achieve. You might not know the steps to take, you might not know who to talk to, but if you know, like, this is where I want to go, your mind will find a way to take you there.
Because like you can look back at your life, right, from time you started till now, and you can connect the dots and see how you got to where you're at. But when you try looking forward, you can't see that because it's unpredictable. It's not set in stone. It's not happened yet. So instead of waiting around for something to happen, that's when you have to hop in the driver wheel and make it happen, because it's not going to happen by itself. And consciously doing that is where, like, it becomes a little more difficult, because some people could just be doing it on accident or just because it feels right. But when you're focused on it and you're conscious of what you're doing, you get it done a lot faster.
Conscious living, it's important.
I don't
You're
think it's
more
just getting it done faster. I think it's just being ready for the opportunity.
Yeah, yeah,
Being open.
yeah.
Okay,
Being
boom,
more
it happened.
right here. Stomp on it.
Instead of sitting there and trying to aim and try to figure it out, you're just gonna go and shoot and then try to. If you miss, okay, I'm gonna aim later. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, hell
I
yeah.
think that's
More
What is that
direct.
shit Adesanya says?
They're more
you mean?
direct.
He said it's not ready, aim, shoot. It's shoot. Or he said something like that, where it's just like, just
yeah,
shoot.
I know what you're talking about. I don't know
You
exactly
don't
how to say it
think,
though,
you
but
just do.
Just do.
yeah,
Yeah, you just do.
Like
If you're
Bruce Lee
thinking too
said.
much, then that like in the mix of chaos, right?
Yeah.
What we were talking earlier. You're thinking too much. Whether it's good or bad, if there's emotion involved, you're thinking. Don't think, you just do. And like, I feel like that's a state of mind some people really get into when they're real mindful. Like, when you're real mindful of what you're doing, you're so engrossed in the moment and here in the present.
Yeah.
You don't think, you just are doing. And like, I often lose myself when I'm cutting hair and lose total track of time, because I do enter like, and I get pissed when people text my phone or call my phone.
The flow state.
It just disturbs my focus.
Mm.
And when I get in that focus, like, I don't even talk.
yeah,
I won't even talk to a client. Like, because I just really like am like too zoned in.
Yesterday we were here for literally 12 hours working on one person's head.
Damn, that's crazy.
Dude, let me tell you, I had the most fun cutting his hair and doing all that.
That's
that I've
crazy.
had in a very long time.
that's dope.
That's the classic. Like, if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life.
No.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I had the most fun. Like, I was excited. I was chill the whole time.
I got a question though. Like, you guys ever find yourself, like, you see in a lot of barbershop culture, like, the conversations are big. Like, you ever hear Vic Blends talk about that a lot? Like, one of his reasons for, like, loving cutting hair is because of the conversations that it brings.
Yeah, exactly why I like the barbershop, because like not only do you get to cut hair and like bless somebody, but you're just chatting around with the guys. It feels like I'm having a podcast every day.
Yeah.
Like that's what it feels like.
For
Like
sure.
we have our moments in the barbershop where like someone would do something or someone would say something and everyone's just clowning and laughing, and it's a good vibe. And like it's even better when you're surrounded with guys that feel like family. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like tense. Oh, I don't like my neighbor because he like steals some of my stuff, like, or you know what I'm saying, or like just weird.
That's
shit.
like most working environments.
Yeah, like
I mean, you got places that are like that.
Yeah.
you.
You
There's
have
a lot of
places
barbershops that are like that.
man, anyway, you got, you know, it's how you guys got to get along, man. Like, if you got one person in the shop that's causing problems, you know, he's gonna cause problems for everybody.
No
Yeah.
doubt. You guys ever find yourself having to play therapist to some of these people that come and sit down in your
Oh,
chairs?
dude, every day.
yeah,
You have
every
to be,
day.
You have to be
Yeah.
a therapist. You have to be a marriage counselor.
Oh man,
You have to know. You have to be a sports commentator. You know what I mean?
Bro,
Like,
the
That's
sport.
you
funny.
have to know everything.
That's
you have
funny.
to. A
the
barber
sports and
knows
barber talk
everything.
is crazy.
Or
Bro.
knows, you know, a little bit of
Everything.
everything.
Yeah.
That's cool though,
You
man.
got to know gambling. People come in here talking about how they played at blackjack at the casino. They talk about their Vegas nights. Like maybe in here.
So
like,
you're getting a pick from every litter. Like you're
Yeah.
getting to
Yeah.
experience
Yeah.
every walk of life.
And
with
it's-
And you also
Yes.
have to be careful what you say and what you do too.
Yeah.
like
I'm not going to
religious-
mention names, but I had a customer one time. All right. He came in and he was drinking.
Oh man.
Oh,
And I'm
man.
like, yo, what's up? You know, we start talking. He felt down. You know, and he told me, you know, his wife left or whatever, right?
Mm.
Oh, shit. Sorry if you're sad.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm like, okay, if you're sad, I'm sorry. If you're happy, cool.
Mm.
Right? And he was like, no, you know, it's fucked up, blah, blah, blah. All I see is her posting stuff. And
Yeah.
he's like, she's an older woman, you know, whatever, right? And I was like, and all I said to the guy was, yeah, I wondered if everything was all right because I saw her post a few things that I was just like, hold on a second. And that's all I said.
Yeah.
I get a phone call in the middle of the night. I get messages on Instagram from the woman. Oh, I can't believe you did that. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh
You
boy.
said I was a whore. And I'm like, what?
Oh no. Not
You know,
good.
so you also have to be very careful
Yeah.
what you say. So I very nicely I said, you know, I don't know who put these words in your mouth, but I didn't say that.
Yeah.
This is what I said, and just do me a favor.
Yeah.
Tell him that when he comes in next time, not to even mention your name.
Mm.
You know, and cut it off that way. But you know, some people, you just have
Yeah.
to be careful with what you say.
I mean, barbering is very similar to podcasting then in that same, like, that matter. Like, if you kind of gotten to be more conscious of, like, what you're saying and, like, the things other people are saying to you. And, too, in the terms of, like, everybody that walks into your barbershop is coming from a different walk of life and probably got some different stories and different knowledge to drop. And, like, you could take for, like, every day. That's one of the biggest things for me about doing this. And this the 5th time I mentioned now on the 5th episode that, like, that's, like, the coolest part of doing this whole thing for me is, like, I get to take that knowledge I learned from all these people, like all the people that you guys have come in, and you get to apply things like that to your life and get stronger and stronger every day. A lot of
doubt.
situations and problems and shit will not affect you as much with all that knowledge that you wouldn't have had. You know what I mean? That's why I love talking to people.
You learn a lot with this stuff, man. You guys gotta go listen to the Dame podcast. He was just giving game, crazy game.
You guys also have to understand too, like, all right, so we're in a position, whether you're 21, 22, or 50, 40 years old,
Yeah.
that you can inspire someone, you know, or change somebody's life.
Mm.
You know, just by, you know, little advice you give them, or even just the type of haircut, you know.
Mm.
So let's say you got someone off the street, they got a job interview, okay, they're looking raggedy,
Yeah.
they're feeling down, they're worried about if they're gonna get their interview.
Mm.
You know, you as a barber, talk to them through it, give them some confidence, you know, and most likely with the haircut you give him and, you know, him being confident, you're going to get that job,
Yeah.
you know, and that's just a small little thing, man. Like, it goes to everything, you know, whether it's a girl you're trying to get to, man, like, I'm leaving the area, I'm pursuing my career, you know, you have a lot of influence on people.
Yeah.
As
You
a
could
barber.
really give someone that back. Like
Yeah.
they'll really get their, like, you can tell from
Back
when
to
they
life.
walk in to when they're done, like their whole mood changed. Dap
Yeah.
you up, like, yo, bro, thank you. Like that's a good feeling, because like I do this just because, like, for fun.
Yeah.
Nah, what's the craziest thing that ever happened in a barbershop before that you guys experienced? The craziest thing you could think of.
Let me make sure that shit not bad, because I don't want to miss this.
You want to pause it real quick? Take a little intermission. We back.
All right, we back, everybody. Craziest barbershop stories, though. And you could refrain from the names, like people, whatever, you know what I mean? But
Like, did anybody ever like boot gang you before? There was in a chair, got cut, and then just
tried skating.
Nah, but you definitely do get a lot of, like, crazy people that come in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like someone who comes in, gets a cut, and then you start a haircut. You know it's not like they're gonna hit you with a, yo, bro, I got 20 minutes. How you got 20 minutes? You want a skin fade? Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's some people that come in here, bro, and just say, like, or especially when they're asking, when you ask them what kind of haircut they want, let me get this or this. They just say some crazy shit all the time.
I wouldn't know what the fuck
You
to
just
say.
gotta know, like, you gotta see their head and be like, yeah, I recommend you, like, try this or this will look good on you, and see what they say. A lot of time my clients say, like, do your thing, and like that's when it's like
that's when you get to just have fun.
Jose, what's your craziest barber story? You've been doing this for gotta be like
I got a bunch, dude. Like,
gotta be like 15
I don't know,
years.
like I've seen people OD
In the barbershop?
in the barbershop.
Oh my god!
While you're cutting, they're just
No, but like they'll go to the bathroom.
oh
and all
no.
of a sudden you hear boom, 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 boom.
Oh,
You know, and I'm like, oh man, what the hell? Open
man.
the door and they're passed out.
Oh, man.
I've had, all types of stuff. I've seen someone get shot in front of a barbershop.
Oh my
Damn.
god!
In Wilkes-Barre or New York?
In Wilkes-Barre.
Damn.
I've seen people fist fighting in the barbershop. Like, so I don't know how crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Shit, I mean, fuck, it gets rough then. Some people out here are just crazy.
Trent, Tucky.
Well, like I said, barbershops were getting a bad name for a while, man.
That's facts, yeah.
Does that like something you keep in mind though? Like you be more diligent, like who you really do let in here?
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I don't know. You guys really can't see the shop. Maybe later you do a quick thing. There's a reason why I have everything set up the way I have it. I wanted to be in the front. Not really, but I kind of wanted somebody up there to make sure that they can greet somebody and try to stop it. So when you walk through the door, you're not just walking in and do whatever you want. You kind of see something where like makes you want to stop a quick second and see what's what. So that window of opportunity is where someone has to come and, greet the customer, stop the customer, figure out what it is that they want. And a lot of that is avoidable, The way everything's set up with the chairs, you can see when somebody is coming towards you or, things like that. You know what I mean? And I keep all that in mind. I'm not saying I expect something to happen, but, you like to see your environment. You like to see what's going on,
Especially because this is your place, you know what I mean? Like, it all falls back on you if some shit goes seriously wrong.
Yeah, of course.
Did the environment change when you made the switch from Blackman Street to this plaza here?
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know,
Parking is way better, of course.
Amount of customers, like, did anything change?
Yeah. I've seen a lot,
It definitely looks like it's way more professional for sure. Because you don't have to worry about, like, us being in the plaza now, instead of being on that main road, finding parking, or, like, your clients parking across the street in someone else's parking lot, and then they start complaining about that. Or there's no parking, so that they park so close to the stop sign that they get tickets. And then, you know what I'm saying? Or worry about getting their car hit because it's a narrow, tight road. Like, this is a perfect opportunity for someone to just come in, park in a big plaza. There's plenty of parking spots out there, and then just come in and get a cut without worry of that. And like, it just overall is a better, more professional place than the last shop for sure.
See, the one thing about this area, okay, you have a lot of people that were here for many years, okay, and maybe within the past 10 to 12 years have seen a big difference. And what I mean by that is people that they've never seen before. People moving in from different areas.
Yeah.
A lot of people out here from when they, that have lived out here their whole life I can't say not everyone, but a lot of people don't like to change. Okay? So when there's a barbershop on the corner of your block opening up, and you have people parking in front of your house that
Yeah.
you're used to being able to just pull up in front of your house and park there. Some people don't like that. So we would get calls from the city. People would call the city. They, the meter maid would come, give tickets to everybody.
Yeah.
They would put up no parking signs where there was no parking signs before. And, so the city made it very difficult for a business to run.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that was the only, reason why, but, that was one of the factors that I don't have that place anymore, where I want nothing to do with it.
Were you guys happier with the interior and layout of this place?
Yeah, there was a few things that I kind of wanted to do, but, there's still time. But, yeah, I kind of wanted
place is
something.
beautiful.
I love this place.
Yeah.
Everybody
I like
has
this place.
room,
Especially from what was here prior. It was a dry cleaning store here
was a
prior,
dry
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
this
yeah.
place is a big turnaround for sure.
Yeah, I think this got to be one of the best looking barbershops in Wilkes-Barre.
Oh yeah, for sure.
No
And I love
doubt.
that wall. Like the wall thing is amazing too.
But that's-
you have, like I said, you have everyone doing upgrades and doing things.
Yeah.
And, I think that's a good thing. You're motivating people to do something, Stop, not just stop, but, not only cut hair and collect money. And
Yeah.
you have barbers with the same machines.
Mm.
They've been cutting with the same machines that have cords, and it gets people more like, okay, well, let's try this, let's try that,
Yeah.
Got to level up. Got to evolve.
It's also about bringing something different to the area,
I think that's important, man, because like that's kind of like a real estate conversation. Like a lot changed, a lot of problems just kind of fell off your back once you changed the locations because how people's parking was affected. So like staying on the real estate topic, like bringing new things into this area. If you just like drive around for like 10, 15 minutes around Wilkes-Barre City, you'll see so many commercial real estate buildings that are just vacant.
Well, right down the block here, they're going to be building like an apartment complex.
But that's all it is. It's like apartments. Like I feel like that's just so lame. Like, we need, like, I want to do something creative here. Like, imagine if we did something like a new arcade or like something that would like bring the young kids in or something that would be fun to do. A place where you can create memories or a place where you can come, have some confidence or, get some confidence, like a barbershop or like
A place to go step out.
a
and
Sky
get out of
Zone
the
is cool.
house.
Like we got a couple Sky Zones
need
that were
some
recently
place.
built here.
No, you're 100% right. But, real estate is where it's at. So everyone's going to put their money in something definite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
A lot of more people are moving into the area. The college is getting bigger. The colleges are
Yeah.
buying pretty much everything up. So what they're expecting is more people to move in. They want the area to
Yeah.
move. When I first came out here, I think rent for a house was like $400 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Now rent for a house is $1,400.
That's crazy.
So for it to go up that much in maybe 10 years is crazy.
When did you move to Wilkes-Barre?
I want to say about 12 years ago.
And was there like a difference that you can explain, like from how Wilkes-Barre was then to how it is now?
Oh yeah, 100%. Man.
Good
You
or
used to
bad?
Leave your windows rolled down. You
Yeah.
didn't hear too much about shootings. Yeah, some things were happening here and there, but a lot has changed, man. Parking, you see traffic just driving. You know what I mean? Before it was like, man, you would drive, you would never hit traffic.
Yeah.
Now it's like it takes you half hour to come down Blackford Street. You know what I mean? Like,
I think ever since the pandemic, though, a lot of people moved from surrounding states to here as like a central hub kind of place. A lot of people left New York to come here. A lot of people left New Jersey to come here. And I think that also comes into play with like in terms of all like the new buildings and real estate that they're doing out here, and just in terms of like the traffic and everything like that as well. I think there's just a lot more people in Wilkes-Barre than there ever was.
You think the future Wilkes-Barre looks bright, or do you think we're going in the wrong direction? Like you think it's going to get
I don't know yet.
more filled with crime and stuff like
What I
that?
see right now is getting worse.
Yeah.
Every day there's something else happening. More people are coming in, and along with more people, that you have to adjust. So let's say even with traffic, you have a lot more cars coming. You got to adjust the timing of the lights. You have more people. You got to have more cops. You have more cops. You have more income coming in. Everything has to kind of catch up with each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it'll take time, man.
What do you think, Vaughn? Where do you think the trajectory of Wilkes-Barre City is going? And what do you think it could use to possibly be a better city?
Us. I feel like us. I mean, we're doing right now what we can, you know what I'm saying, providing value to someone out there to hopefully, change their perspective or change them into becoming better or to just inspire someone else. Like you can help somebody else, and they might help a couple other people out. But with everyone, gimme, that take mentality instead of giving, nobody's really out here like showing the right way. And I feel like with this podcast and being able to have a platform to where you can give, I think that's a real big thing. And like I feel like this is a great step, and you can take this further, way further, and to be able to touch people not only in this here in Wilkes-Barre, but everywhere. Like
no doubt,
people on YouTube will tune in, and if you're providing value, you don't know, like you can better someone's where they live, their area, just by people just tuning into your podcast.
I agree wholeheartedly, man. And it was a big feeling for me at first to like get out of this area to pursue my goal, like with this whole podcast thing and everything. But then I think at some point I realized that like I still feel as though this place has a lot of potential, and I think that like a lot of the people here are really dope, and you can learn a lot of things from here. But kind of touching on like what you were saying, is I feel more than ever now like we could be the ones to make the change around this place, rather than just me being scared and leaving, like just leaving this place, going for better things elsewhere. I think we could run it up here first, and then
it's like
spiral out.
With the way you guys are doing it, I don't think it matters where you're at. I just think it's about the message you're putting out. You know, everybody's perspective. You know, I think this is probably one of the best places too, because let's say if you took it to New York, you would have a lot of insight on certain things, but here there's such a different demographic where you have people that have never seen anything outside of this area, you know. And you're taking people that have lived in New York, Jersey, Florida, California, you know, and that are here now, and now you're getting perspective from everything. You know what I mean? So I think this is a good area. You know, you can talk to a lot of people. You can always take it somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Have someone call from a different area. You know what I mean? Or whatever it is, and you guys do something on the phone that way. You know, and but I think over here this is a good spot.
I think the new high school might contribute to some of that new like upcoming stuff too. Like new high school comes new opportunities for athletes to maybe get seen.
A
little more.
We touched on that big with Dame.
They're big. It's a way bigger school. So more kids. More recruits will come because it's more cream of the crop comes from that school. There are 3 schools combined. You know. So like you really get to see who's out of all 3 of those schools, who rises to the top, and like, you know, then that's a more opportunity and more reason to come in for people, for families, because they know that their kids can come play sports here or for whatever may. You know,
I don't think that has.
School may come.
That's not with the school. That has to do with the people that are running the scenes behind this.
That's very true too.
You know, you have an athletic director. You know,
very, very true.
Aside from just making teams and getting people to try out and doing whatever little things that they do at the games, they should be out there trying to network. They should be out there trying to get people to come to these games and watch these kids. You know?
Very much so.
This is one kid I cut, Makai. He's still got 2 years of high school, and he's got people from UConn calling him to commit to a D1 school already. You understand what I'm trying to say? And that was from his father. That wasn't from an athletic director that said, "Oh, you got to check this kid out." From his father taking him, driving 6 hours to a camp, to another camp, another 6 hours. You know what I'm trying to say? Now, why does a parent have to do that?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
why does
for
a
sure.
parent got to be driving 18 hours or going to another state so this kid can get looked at, you know?
Yeah.
Dame was touching on that big time.
Very much so. That's very true. That was cool because when you were in Florida, like your school took you to PA and to different parts of Florida and stuff like that to give you guys exposure.
Yeah, we would go to all types of camps. At the school in Florida I lived at, they took care of us. We had a lot of fundraisers and stuff like that we did. So we got exposed to a lot of good coaches and a lot of good recruits and stuff just because of the opportunities that we were given and doors that opened up due to having the funding, you know.
I was saying it on that podcast, but I feel though
they misused their funding.
I feel like
to be able to fund some of those opportunities and open some of those doors, you know. I feel like it is possible and can come from this area if, like I said, they were brought up right, or if like they have the best interests at heart and like and just want more for the kids and stuff like that, or instead misuse it for whatever they use it for, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of exposure, though, I see you guys been like really trying to push stuff on social media. So, what is like the strategy behind that? You know what I mean? Like getting more exposure on social media and introducing your craft, your brand, and your people to everybody else around the world.
Well, yeah, like you said, some of it's local. I mean, of course, you want everybody locally to know you. You know,
No doubt. Yeah.
One of the things that I said to myself was, I want to get to a point. All right, so you know how we were talking about goals? I don't have them. You know, I got, okay, this is the next step, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things I remember just sitting down with Isaac and sitting down with Louis and everybody and saying, I want to get to a point where there isn't one person that hasn't heard about NYO Barbershop or hasn't heard the name NYO.
Yeah.
So a lot of that has to do with social media, getting out there, talking to people, you know, things like that. And that stuff takes time, you know?
Yeah.
So that's a big part of it. And a lot of it is networking, you know, getting exposure, letting people see what we do, you know.
But not only be known by people in Wilkes-Barre, but known with a reputation behind it. Not for something that's like in a negative way or, oh, I know him, yeah, and then they say something bad, or I know NYO Barbershop, that's where blah, blah, blah happens, right? No. In here, there's a standard, and, like, we all are pushing the edge of the envelope every single day, and, like, we just are striving to be great and to be the best that we can. So, like, that's the atmosphere and that's the vibe that we have in this barbershop. And, like, not only do we want to express that through our work and in our craft and post on social media, but we want that person that watches that to get inspired and push in whatever craft that they're doing, to push the edge of the envelope and strive for greatness in whatever they're doing as well. Because it rubs off and greatness seeps through. And no matter what, if you're in music and sports and whatever, like, you can motivate people.
Yeah.
And you can touch people and, like, you can see greatness. Like, there's basketball players and then there's LeBron James. You know what I'm saying?
It's different, right?
Like, there's rappers and then there's J. Cole. Like, and those are just the people that separate themselves and they hold themselves to a higher standard and a higher level, and, like, they inspire people that are coming up to do the same and hold themselves to those kind of standards, regardless of what the craft may be.
Yeah.
You know?
And those people, like the LeBron Jameses and the J. Coles of the world, needed to be inspired as well.
Right.
So I think it's great that you focus on that. Like,
because then they hit the next, and then the next, and then the next, and then you never know. Like, that's why I was saying with Lewis, like, I look at him like he's great, bro. He's really gifted at what he does. And if you give him an opportunity to, like, an Instagram page, for example, that shows you how to do all these haircuts and all these type of things, and he could take it to the next level, and you can look at that, get inspired from that, you can catapult off him to you hitting your next height. You know what I'm saying? And, like, but if he wasn't, and you kept that power for yourself, you would have never, you know, you would have never reaped that, like, benefit. And I'm not trying to look at it like using people in, like, that kind of way. That's not how I'm looking at it. It's just more for, like,
it don't need
you
to
can
be
grow.
that way.
Iron sharpens iron. You know what I'm saying? And, like,
that's what I was
if
just
you
gonna
have
say.
if you have something that can make your friend or your partner better,
and
then you can get inspired and grow from them as well. Like, you, and especially that's why we're so tight in this barbershop and we keep to ourselves in here, is like, because we know where we're going. You know what I'm saying? We know what we want to do, and, like, we have the iron really sharpens iron, and we strive for that every day.
Like, you guys are just staying in your own lane and you're strengthening each other. You're not worried about the people around you, the competition, or whatever you want to call it. If you just
everybody here has something to offer. You know? So whether it's Louis, Joevanny, Chris, you know, everybody here has something that they give to each other. You know, one person's not here, it feels funky.
That's
you know
big.
I mean?
That's
like, right,
that is so true.
I had a guy that went on vacation for a week, and
everyone felt the vibe missing. Like, everyone was like, "Yo, does he still work here? Is he still here?" Like, you know, you can tell. Like,
and you have that feeling,
that peace that's missing.
That's important.
You know, I don't have one demographic or one type of, you know. There's times where I'll have someone who's Indian, Chinese, Mexican, you know, all here waiting. You know what I mean? So it isn't like, okay, that we just vibe with a certain type. You know what I mean? People walk in and they feel the vibe and they feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And I think that's you know, one of the big things, man.
And if you stress that, like, when you come into these doors, like, it's a community in here, I think people get a feel from that, and that in turn makes people want to be a part of that community.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well, you could be in a bad mood, walk right into that door. One of the signs I got there says, "Leave your drama outside." You walk to the door, you walk in, your whole feeling changes. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's something you rub that off on people, man. They walk out feeling brand new.
And it seems like the way you guys are describing it, like people do get that feeling. Like they notice when there's a missing link in here. Like they notice when, you know, shit's not
The energy.
the normal.
It's not just the employees, it's the customers.
Yeah.
Customers will be like, oh, but where's such and such today? Oh, well, this one's like, you know what I mean? They see it, you know what I mean? So it isn't like, you know, they don't notice anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They see everything.
That's really cool, man. How about for NLV? Like, where do you want to take NLV? I feel like that's like growing to become your own brand. Like, how do you think you'll take that in the future?
As far as I can take it, I mean, really, I just strive to be the best me and, like, do what I do to the best if I can do it and, like, maximize my potential. As far as, like, a specific direction, I really don't know. But what I am interested in is, like, developing myself, learning new things, and then being able to teach those concepts and those lessons that I've learned to other people to hopefully, like I said, take what they do and further themselves and better themselves. But, like, ultimately, I'm just trying to master myself and just learn everything that comes with me and my body and in my mind and my emotions and the demons that might trick you or, like, on a day-to-day basis. That's really, like, my goal, like, just to become the best version of myself and to conquer myself. And then in doing so, be able to, like, teach and inspire someone else. And I like barbering. I'm passionate about barbering, but, like, it's just a platform I use to be able to express that self, that to someone else. I get to see someone who comes in with a problem, and not only am I giving them confidence by cutting their hair, but I'm able to, like, plant seeds in their mind and be able to provide a valid perspective to them that, like, it is possible, or that to look at the brighter side, or for whatever reason they have challenges coming up, that, like, it isn't over for them and that they can, like, bounce back or overcome it. Yeah. Because I do feel like people at any moment, a traumatic event could happen and, like, it could change their life just like that. And, like, sometimes they get in their own way and like they're unaware that they're in their own way. But if they knew better, they would do better. And I feel like I'm coming from a point where I didn't know better, and someone taught me. And now that I'm conscious and I'm making those decisions for myself, I feel like it's kind of fair that, like, they should be able to have that same ability and, like, be conscious and awareness that you share.
I agree.
Everybody's blind to something everybody else sees visibly, man. We touched on that very early on in this podcast. I think it's great that you focus on that too, because then at that point, like, for you, it's bigger than just a job. It's bigger than just self-growth.
It's mastery.
Yeah, it's bigger than just barbering. It's like at that point, like, you're touching people. You know what I mean?
And when and let's say you start off small, and that's your focus, then you're just gonna keep going and keep going and keep going until you reach really high heights. And at that point, you don't even need to worry about, I want to raise my prices. It'll take care of itself. Yeah, it'll take care of itself because you become better at what you do, which puts you at high demand, which then limits your availability for other people. And then once you're unavailable for other people, you're in high demand. You can I want to charge this amount. Yeah. And what are they going to say? They have to. I mean, if you're in that high demand, but that's a process.
Yeah. I mean, you guys only got so much time in a day. Like, does it hit a point in your bookings where, like, there's only, like, so many people you can maintain at one time? Like, like, there's only so many, like, names and phone numbers you can have in your phone at one point, or else you guys would just be in this barbershop every minute, every day.
No, well, that's where, like, you have to respect your time. And, like,
yeah, man, I'm trying to learn that.
You have actively. To, like, and I've learning a lot because, like, last summer I would stay in here and cut people out, like, just because I wanted to, just because and Jose was like, no, bro, because then you're going to get people used to that. Yeah. And when they get used to that, they're going to feel like they can call you at any point. And, like, I guess I've got my clientele, like, used to that. And, like, now I really start to be like, no, I'm between these hours. Yeah. If you need me outside of that, I'll never say no to a client. I'll throw my price out there and they're going to have to say no to me. Yeah. But I'm always going to say, I can cut your hair, but that's what my time is worth. And if you want to pay for it, you're paying for a service at the end of the day. You're paying for my time. Yeah. I could like a Friday night. Oh, bro, I need a haircut real quick before I go out. I could have had plans Friday night. Yeah. With my girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's not all you do.
So check this out. A lot of guys, I bet you if you ask them, does your job ask you to do overtime? They'll probably say yeah. Yeah. What happens when their job asks them to do overtime? to get compensated.
Yeah.
Time and a half, double time, whatever the case is, right?
True.
Again, a barber do the same thing. You know, this was something I touched on online real quick, but you know, I'm not saying whatever. Anyway, right now I think if I look on the app for like the next 2 weeks at least, you know, it's booked. I'll have a few people on standby, whatever the case is, but that's only because I set a time to start and a time to finish. Yeah, those people on standby is, okay, it's either one or the other. I can come in a little earlier, it's a little bit more expensive, or I can stay a little bit later, it's a little bit more expensive. And it's their decision if they want to, or if they want to stay on standby, they could do that. So, you know, also. But it gets to a point where, yeah, you gotta put your phone on silent at a certain time. Sunday and Monday, I don't answer texts. I'm not trying to get people used to that. Where they text me on a Sunday and Monday, oh, can I schedule something for the week?
Yeah.
There's an app for that. We use an app. They can go on, boom, and do it themselves whenever. Now, if the thing says it's booked for 2 weeks and you're texting me, that's one of two things. You're either going to be on standby or it's because you want to pay extra to get in at a certain time. You know what I mean? No, that's
whether they want to do it is up to them.
Yeah, I mean, that makes perfect sense to me.
But you have to respect your time. Like,
not only that, you have to respect their time as well.
yeah.
You know, I don't want to talk about, the barber this, the barber. It's also a customer. So if a customer sets their appointment for 10 o'clock, and the shop opens at 10, be there for 10.
Yeah.
Be there for 9:45. You know, there's no reason why you can't get there a couple minutes early.
Yeah.
If you're running a little b't behind, you also have that customer's phone number, the next person. You let them know, I'm running a little behind. So that way when they walk through the door, you don't have, you don't have them waiting for so long, or the expectation that they're going to come sit in the chair. You don't know what a customer goes through to get to the shop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? So you have to respect that.
Or
Everybody's
what they go
time's
through to like
important.
be able to come to the shop.
Yeah.
Because I know for like a lot of people around here, like they work at warehouse jobs. That's ball busting work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they're not paying the greatest. So like when you come into the barber shop and you're paying for a haircut, you have to respect that person's time because you don't know what it took for that person to gather up that money to be able to come to the barbershop in the first place.
I have a lot of they take Ubers.
I have a lot of people who come from colleges that don't, and they're freshmen on colleges. They don't have cars. They Uber. So they Uber and then they pay for their haircut and then Uber back.
Yeah.
And so like you don't know what people are coming where they're coming from or what it took to get the money. So you have to respect their time and do this shit with pride because like. You ultimately don't know. It's kind of like a slap in the face when like someone's giving me more than what I'm giving them.
Yeah.
You know, I always try giving more than what I receive because I know God will take care of me. I make sure I get what I get because I know God will handle that. I just give and give and give, and I know that it'll come around full circle.
That's a great perspective, man.
Time is our most valuable asset. It's the only thing that we can't get back.
No. Yeah, I've been learning that a lot recently. Like to be more like responsible and respectful with my time and everybody else's time. I've learned that big, at least say in the last year, as my life has gotten so much more busy. I've had to come up with a few strict schedules, like certain days you got to handle certain business. And I think when you have that and life's not just all free and leisure, like I think you start learning that trait. Like just to be more valuable with everybody's time, not only your own, but everybody's. Because like he's saying, you don't get that shit back, man.
So you have to take into consideration what it might have took for them to be here, and so be kind, be nice, you know, like the normal stuff. You don't know what people might be going through or what it took or what sacrifices they may have like had to overcome or do to be in the position to where they're at, and you know everyone's on the same path. They all want the same thing, to provide for their families. So. Everyone's doing the same stuff.
You know, like a lot of it comes down to how you are. You know, the barbershop. You have to be consistent in order to grow. You know, so barbershop opens at 10. You should be there at 10. Barbershop closes at 6. You should stay until 6. Customers want that availability. They want you to be available. They want They want their haircut by this weekend. They want you to be able to. They want you there. They want to know that okay, on Saturday, he'll be there. You know, gets to a point where you get busy and, you have certain people that only want you. And that's when you start to get busy. But as far as starting out in a barbershop, man, you have to be consistent. If you're not consistent, you're never going to grow.
I think that's with anything, though, man. And it's like getting the ball rolling and being consistent. Because, like, a lot of people, I think we touched on that earlier, too. Like, a lot of people procrastinate just that start. So they'll never even get to that point where they got to worry about those other things because they are just too trapped up in their own head. They don't even ever get it going.
Word.
Shit.
We good?
Yeah, it's up to you guys. How you guys feeling?
I'm chilling.
Yeah? You guys have fun?
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yo, where's your, how could we, book you guys on what app? How do we basically find that? What's your Instagram, stuff like that?
You can download the app Booksy, look up NYO Barbershop, and it'll have the list of the barbers we have. You click on one, and he has no time available. You click on the X, and you can see the availabilities we have, the services we
portfolio that put pictures.
That's cool.
The
That's
pictures
dope.
we have, the ratings, all that stuff is available on there. It'll show the times and the services we provide.
Yeah.
And you just secure the time that best works for you. That way you don't have to go through, text me, hey, what's your availability? And then me cutting hair, I won't look at my phone until later on the day. Anyways, then someone secures that time, which could have been yours if you would have known how to book it through the app, So it's it's the fastest way. You look through the app. You don't have to text me. You don't have to text me at all. You just go through the app and book it and then secure your time. And it'll send you notifications, reminders, and everything.
Another thing is barbershops are by appointments.
Yeah.
Stop thinking you can walk in and just sit in a chair right away. It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Ever since the pandemic, those days are over. Make your appointment. And if you don't know who it is, then say you don't care who it is. You know what I mean? You'll sit with anybody, but make an appointment.
But as a client, too, they also have to take into consideration that us barbers aren't going to sit around waiting for walk-ins to come in, We have to, if we're here from this time to this time, we have to make sure we're working because this is active pay.
Yeah.
And if you're not cutting hair, you're not making money. And so, you know what I mean? They also have to take that into consideration just as much as we look at it from their perspective and what it might have took for them to come here. They have to look at it from our perspective as well, at least try. And I know a lot of them don't know because they don't talk to their barbers probably. On
now
this
they'll
level.
know.
But
they'll hear this.
I think this is a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
well,
IG.
People,
barbering has changed a lot within the past 2 years. Some people think it's, drastic, where it's $20 for a haircut. 2 years ago to triple that now, you know? But in actuality, things happen. Inflation, you're doing appointments. A box of gloves used to cost $10.
Yeah.
Like $30 now.
The world's expensive these days.
Not even that, upkeep. You also have everything. Everything is going up. Gas is, $6 a gallon right now.
Ridiculous.
So things change. You know what I mean? And, we're using apps now. Everything is by appointment. You want your time respected, then you got to respect the barber's time as well.
Yeah, man. Well, all right, everybody. This is NYO. This is the Go Getters podcast. I mean, you guys hear everything here. You guys hear the community they got going on here and how they like to keep things running and, how they do everything in here. And, I mean, you guys hear exactly what they're saying. So, be respectful with everybody's time. This shit is a profession for them. So, keep it clean, keep it classy, and,
come get confidence, not just a cut.
Yeah.
What's the IG? NLV cuts, right?
Come check us out. This is we're at NYO Barbershop on Instagram. I'm NLV Cuts, and this is not your ordinary barbershop. Barber.
Yeah.
You check out the Instagram NYO_barbershop. Tons of pictures. The link for the app is there. You can just go click on it, book it. Shows all the barbers. Y'all be safe.
Yo, NLV.
Come in.
Love,
no limit. No limit.
Show these guys love. They showed us big time love. I really appreciate you guys being on here one more time. Thanks for, having me and you guys barbershop. And I appreciate you guys' time, man.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.